So I'm just out going for a walk. I thought I'd share a few things with you, you know, and what we do. I mean, we have solar up on the roof. We got 1,500 watts on the roof, and we got 700 amp hours worth of battery. And then we have two portables panels on the ground for like this time of year, and that gives us plenty of power. I mean, it does. If I have to dig those panels out, I will. Depends on kind of where you're at. If you have short sunlight days, you know, like you're up in the mountains or something, you got the mountain shading you. After a while, you take and you know, you're gonna have to have more panels out there to pick up the power, because your sun is shorter. You know what I mean? Shorter time. And this time of year, in the winter, the sun is at a bad angle anyhow. For solar, not bad, but you're only going to be getting about half your rating. And so we add extra panels on the ground if we need them. And then we take and have a Berkey water system in there, so you can get them on Amazon. I've talked about it before, but you don't want to get sick from bad water, so it's extra good precaution, you know. And then you guys ever get up to Minnesota, if you ever get up to Minnesota and you want to know where there's some excellent boondocking spots, get a hold of me, please, because we have I can't tell you how many. And we have a side-by-side, so they're big enough sites. We have a group of guys that, you know, probably 3 of us, we all pull side-by-sides behind our campers. So we're 75 feet long. And we take and get into these spots. What they are usually is back in the woods. You have logging up there quite often, and what there is the clearings, and what the loggers do is they clear out these spots and level them, right? Well, then after a few years, you know, they're gone, so you'll have these clearings, and they're going to probably be 200 to 300 square, you know, 200 feet this way, 200, 300 feet that way, so they're plenty big, and they're always nice and level. And it's right on the four-wheeling system. And if you want to hike, you can hike. I mean, it's beautiful areas. And then they have up around north of Duluth, there is plenty of state land up there. And there is camping there around Silver Lake. And I can't name all these different lakes, but the state had set up boondocking spots, and they're right on the water, and they're never really, I don't think I've been in there yet when it's full, but it's beautiful, just beautiful areas. What they did is they cleared the trees out right up in the lake. It's kind of a drive in and drive out, you know, a drive-through area. It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. You know. But, you know, and another thing I do too a lot is don't forget to change your transmissions fluid on your trucks, guys. Very, very important. If you want that transmission to last, we do it faithfully every 50,000. And I just now got 60, so I changed it at 50. Them things are pulling, man. And them clutch packs going up the mountains, you should have the fresh fluid in there. You know, keep that fluid up to the viscosity it needs to operate properly. You know, you can say, "Oh yeah, I got an Allison or whatever brand." It doesn't matter. Don't even bother listening to what the manufacturers tell you on that part. It's just a good idea to get that stuff changed, because you got to remember something. Dealers and Dodge, Ford, GM, whatever brand it is, they want to sell you another truck, in my book. And I send samples in. You know what I mean? I send tranny samples in, I send motor samples in, engine samples, and at about 50,000, if you're using your rig to pull like we do all the time, my truck don't get used really unless I'm pulling. It's time to change it. You know, they say, yeah, I mean, it's time to change it. I mean, it's not that it's contaminated, whatever, but it's right there. I mean, it's due. And engine oil, we use synthetic Rotella T6 faithfully. I always use Chrysler or Cummins filters on this thing, because I don't believe in the aftermarket stuff. Excuse the tractor, they're out here grading for the rodeo. Use manufacturer's filters on your vehicles. They're designed for it, your fuel filters. And even if you want to add a fast filter for your fuel, great. More filtering you can do to a point. You can over filter sometimes, but just use a manufacturer filter, you know. But change that oil. They say, oh yeah, you're fine, you can go, you know, 15,000 miles. You know what? You take that oil sample and you send it in. You know, if you're doing, especially if you're doing a lot of city driving or half city driving, it's actually worse for your camper or your truck, I mean, to do that and run at 15,000, because you're getting fuel in the oil and contaminating that oil. It is. That's why it gets black, sooty. But I change mine between 4,000 and 5,000 faithfully. You're gonna say, oh, that's overkill, you're wasting money, blah blah blah. But you know something, I've had 2 other diesel trucks pulling these rig campers around, and never once have I had a problem. And I know a guy that pulls RVs for a living. Or not a living, he's retired, but he still does it. He's got a Dodge, I think it's a 14 or 15 Ram 1-ton with the 6.7, and he pulls campers for Jayco and all these other new campers. He delivers them. Okay, that's all he does is deliver campers around the countryside up in Canada. And this guy runs this truck hard all the time. I mean, he's going. He's got over 200,000 miles on this truck, and the motor hasn't been cracked. He's had it in, he's had it inspected for compressions and everything else, but he's not listening to what they say either. I talked to him about it. I showed him the samples that I've sent in years ago, and he's doing his at 5,000 miles. So you guys take it however you want, but I'll tell you what, an oil change, you know, is $130. You start plugging up the lifters, because the lifters in these 6.7s have got a small oil hole in them. You can do your research on the newer ones. They've got a smaller hole, and I don't know if that was intentional or not, because why would they go to a smaller hole on the newer models when the older ones had the bigger hole in it for your lifters? What happens is the lifters get starved on oil if it gets dirty, and they go bad, and it drops into your cylinder, comes apart, and now you got a bad motor. That's why I'm saying keep your oil changes intervals close. 4,000 or 5,000 miles, whatever, you know. I'm going to turn you around just to enjoy the sun here, or the morning we got going on here. It's beautiful. Beautiful morning here in the fairgrounds. We're down here for Romp It Up. We're just out for a walk. They're going to have a big rodeo this weekend here, and then Romp It Up starts on the 5th. But yeah, trying to think of something else here that we do, and to make it easier on you when you're out boondocking, we use Blackstone. Okay, Blackstone, Deb says, goes with all the time. She loves it. You know why she loves it? Because the grease spatter and the mess stays outside. You don't stink up the camper, and there's cleanup is simple. You scrape it down, scrape the Blackstone down into its tray in the back of grease, give it a quick wipe, you're ready. You don't wash it. You don't have to wash it, because you turn the burners on, they get up to that 700-800 degrees or whatever they are. They're sterile anyhow, you know, and all the mess stays outside. You don't get your grease spattering all over your stove and stinking up your camper. And besides that, she loves smash burgers and breakfast out there on the Blackstone. If you ever had a Blackstone, we drag ours with all the time. It sits in the back of the truck with a cover. I used to carry it in the back belly, but that got to be a pain, and besides that, it gives it extra weight. The Blackstone is a must-have item if you're boondocking. You know, there's nothing better than sitting out there cooking breakfast on a beautiful morning outside, and then we have breakfast outside. But another thing is tongue weight on your campers. Folks, I tell you what, I can't stress that enough either. Man, you know, if you're living on the road, traveling around like we do, you have to watch your tongue weight. You just have to watch the tongue weight on these things. It's so easy to load that compartment up and get too much tongue weight. So get in there, and you got to get it weighed. Go to a scale, get it figured out what your tongue weight is. That's a must. It's safety, and I believe in my whole heart that a lot of the foot frame breaking for this frame flex issues is from too much tongue weight. I know it's got to contribute to it. They put these cargo bays in there that are huge, making them think that oh hey, now we can put more stuff in our cargo bay. Well, guess what? The more stuff you stack in your cargo bay, the more tongue weight you got. And we are sitting on ours at right at 3,200 pounds, I believe, to 2,800 pounds is our area where we can go. And I think we're right at 3,000 last time I weighed it here this year earlier, and we haven't really changed nothing. But because we got a lot of solar, batteries. I mean, lithium batteries up front, and they're a lot lighter than regular batteries, your lead acid batteries for sure. So, and the Vectron, that's 60, 70 pounds. It all adds up, and it's all up on the nose. And our cargo bay on ours is huge cargo bay. It's the doors just about 5 feet, and it's 8.5 feet across. And ours is the 3540 Solitude X class. It's got a big, huge cargo bay, and everybody says, "Man, that's nice." Yeah, it is nice. It's beautiful. Because I got another doghouse. I got a place to go. If I need, Mama kicks me out of camper, I crawl down there and put a mattress. No, it's just, yeah, you got a lot of storage, and storage is great. But you have to load it properly. You have to load your camper properly, or you're going to have issues. We had frame flex, but ours wasn't from breaking frame. They tore everything apart. Everything was good there. What happened was the bolts came loose up above in the bedroom because they put the wrong size bolts in. They put 5/16 in there, and a lot of them fell out, and I was getting movement. I seen it, and I caught it because I watched things, brought it in. Grand Design took care of it. They put the 1/2-inch lags in there, all of them this time. So yeah, you got issues with things like that, but we watch our weight on our campers. We watch tongue weight. We keep it even. Tire pressures, we monitor them, and the same with my camper tires, man. I change them babies, half tread, they're coming off. Because you ever blow a tire with a camper and you haven't done it, and you haven't blown one, I'm telling you, it destroys your fender. It'll just, if it's on the refrigerator side, you're going to tear your gas lines out usually. You're going to tear your electrical lines out for that side, or your brakes. You're going to tear the wires out of the brakes. When they blow a tire, they blow bad. That's why we went to 14 ply. I'm trying to talk a little faster. My battery's going dead. But that's why we use 14 ply sidewall to sidewall tires. They'll brag about their 12 ply and blah blah blah, but I'll tell you what, you can tell when you have a 14 ply sidewall to sidewall. And if you got a good tire dealer, not one of these box store tire dealers, an actual tire shop, they will tell you. And a lot of times, if you get like the trailer tires they use for cattle hauling, these cattle guys, for their goosenecks, they use the 14 ply tire. We were out in South Dakota, and the tire guy out there, he put our tires on for us, and they are a lot heavier in weight. And your sidewalls, you can't just grab them and move them. They're stiff. They're a stiff tire. Really a stiff tire. And then we usually throw the bead packs in there to keep them balanced going down the highway. If you don't know what tire beads are, talk to your tire guy and he'll show them to you. They're a little pouch and they got plastic beads, and it keeps your tires balanced going down the highway. just to get good even wear. But get those tires that are not a 12 to 14 ply tire. Now they got 16 ply, and I'll tell you what, I'm thinking about switching to that when I'm due to put these on, because I don't want my tires blowing. With a 14 ply, 90% of the time when they blow, they actually hold the tire together. It doesn't start flopping around and flying apart. If you're got it held together, you know, with all them wires to your bead. Think of it as a tire net. Okay? When it blows, it holds it all together. When you get a cheaper tire, they put the plies in the face and come down the sidewall about an inch. And then maybe you got a 3-ply wall. Read your tires. Read what it says. If it don't say 14-ply sidewall, or 12-ply sidewall, and that tire isn't stiff, if you grab a hold of the bead and move it in and out, and it's not really stiff, and the tire's not heavy, stay away from it, in my book. It's just safety stuff, and I just wanted to share some stuff with you that we do on the road, boondocking, to make it easier, to make it so we're not sitting alongside the road, broke down, things like that. And one short one, grease your wheel bearings twice a year. Take them out and grease them. Don't use that stupid little zerk in the middle. It's got a purpose. In my eyes, the purpose is to use that when you don't have brakes in there, because you can over grease it and you're going to get grease on your brakes and your brakes will fail. Take that however you want to. You don't have to take it. You can let it go, whatever. But I have talked to people, and it's happened to me once, years ago. I went and pumped the grease in there, and the biggest enemy, if you do that, do not use electric grease gun. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You got to use a hand grease gun and push it slowly and rotate that tire. Rotate that tire, you know, so you don't get too much grease too fast. But I'll turn you around. This is going to be the front of the fairgrounds. They got little gazebos. We're on the other side of this fence. Nice fenced in area. Border Patrol is over there. They got bean bags out here, picnic tables, and yeah, it's a beautiful little spot here. You guys want to come in here to camp? Sonoyta, Arizona. Camping's really reasonable if you're boondocking. They do have power. I don't know the price on the power, but I know we are paying $10 a day to boondock, dry camp. But they have water here that you can get. So the dump station is a little ways away, that I will say, but thank you guys for sticking with me here, and please subscribe. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. I can't stress it, man. Life's just a click, and retire as soon as you can. That's the big one, before something happens to you and you can't. Take care, people.